Can you give me your favorite thing about America in your best American accent?
My favorite thing about America is guns, freedom, family. Yeah.
G'day and welcome to Big Down Under. I'm Charlie Cotton and today I'm talking to actor Luke Cook. Now, Luke got pretty famous after he was on the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the teenage witch. He played Lucifer in that show, actually, the devil, which is interesting because he comes from a very religious family. And so his mum to this day has not watched his breakout role. But right now, he is on a show called Good Cop, Bad Cop with Leighton Meester. And it's a fantastic show. And this is really propelling him to heights of fame that he's never seen before. Because previous to Sabrina, he was on like a 10-year dry spell. He came over to this country when he was 22 and then got booked some really big roles that he had to step back from because of visa issues. Can you imagine that? Booking the best thing ever and then having to turn it down because of visa issues. And then after that point, 10 years walking through the desert, not booking any major roles after having this massive opportunity. He was a busboy for 10 years. Then finally he gets Sabrina. Now he gets Good Cop, Bad Cop. So I want to talk to him about like just the mental load that he had to bear all those years. And now finally he's risen from the ashes. And he's got a wife and kids over here that they're raising here in LA. So I talked to him about Australia-America cultural differences, his sense of national identity, and a bunch of other bullshit, honestly. So here it is. Here's Luke Cook. So Luke, you are on a walking treadmill as we speak.
I'm on a walking treadmill, and in 30 minutes, I'm going to do 3,000 steps. That's the goal anyway.
You're going to do this whole podcast on a walking treadmill?
The whole podcast on a walking treadmill.
I've never done it like this before. It feels exciting.
Well, yeah, because I could run away or something.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing only goes to 4 miles, so I can't really go very fast. It can't go much faster than this. But is this okay with you? Like, what does it feel like to talk to somebody who's walking while they're talking to you on a podcast?
I feel lazy just sitting here, basically. It feels like we should be both walking.
Yeah, that'd be nice, actually. What we could do is we could either have matching treadmills or we could, be in person walking through the hills of Los Angeles.
I like it. That's a new podcast idea. Me and you.
I have an idea for the name of your podcast. It should be Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth. I like Charlie Cotton is my name, so Cottonmouth would be nice. Is that I smoke a bit of weed, so Cottonmouth is actually appropriate.
Right, exactly. But it's totally you, because you just, yabbing on. That's what we're doing,
This is a fun start to an interview, Luke. This is a fun start. We haven't met in person. Oh, we have met in person at LAX maybe twice, I think I got you.
Yep.
The first time I got you, I was a bit anxious because I don't normally like talking to Australians, like interviewing Australian celebrities. Yeah. I got to tell you, I always get most nervous talking to Australians. Why? I don't know. I can interview everyone, but Australians make me nervous. I was almost going to let you slip by because something about it.
It's because we judge you.
I feel judged.
Tall poppies.
I think it's tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
But I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell when Australians are hamming up the accents just a little bit more.
Right.
But you never did that to me, so I was always happy to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, something about interviewing an Australian celebrity, I feel insecure, like they're going to see through me. Like, I think most of what I do is kind of like doing a bit, like an Aussie bit. And I just know that someone like you would just be like, who is this idiot?
Yeah, totally. But I have more respect for people who come out and do their thing in America than if they stay in Australia and do their thing. Because it means that they've got balls. And they've taken on a harder thing than they had to. They could have just stayed in Australia and played it safe. Anyone who comes out to America and has a crack at it, I have big respect for.
Well, I mean, that's something where you and me do relate because we both came over to America when, I don't know how successful you considered yourself back then, but you weren't that successful. So you came over here kind of as a nobody. A lot of Australians, the way they do it is they make it in Australia, then come over here, make it. Both of us were just like, I'm going to try to get a job when I land in America. Why did you decide to sort of like push all your chips into the middle so early?
Well, the industry in Australia when we were growing up, I mean, even when we were in our, in our 20s, there was not a big industry in Australia. It's like it was shitty TV that Australia was pushing out, Home and Away, Neighbours, the two soaps, and Underbelly, which is like a the underworld of Sydney and Melbourne, which is shit. We don't have a good underworld. Australia, yeah. America has a great underworld, and so they were making. All they were doing in Australia was just pumping out Underbelly 1, Underbelly 2, Underbelly 3, Underbelly 4, and it's like at the third one, it was like, guys, we're not that interesting when it comes to our criminals, actually.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to get out of here. And I wanted to do comedy too, which is like, the comedic scene in Australia was like not a thing at that time. Australia now is much more interesting. Like there's a lot more happening now there, which is great. But I knew I needed to come out here to give it a crack so that I could get more opportunities. And looking back, I'm not sure if it was the right decision. Like I could have stayed in Australia for a few more years, but I'm glad I did because it just made me it makes you more resilient, right? Like you got to go through some shit.
Right. So you've been here 16 years now. How American do you feel?
It's so crazy. Like one day you wake up and you're like, I've spent almost my entire adult life in America.
I know, bro. I know.
Yeah, it's sometimes like the other day I posted I was eating arugula, and somebody was like, oh, it's rocket, you idiot. And I'm like, no, actually, I live in America. I have done for 16 years. Don't tell me what it's called. Like right. I speak basically American in my own accent.
Yeah.
Like don't give me this shit about how things are spelt or whatever. Like as far as you're concerned, like I'm an American. I just got this accent. Also, I'm a citizen now. I became a citizen a month ago.
Oh, no way, bro. That's actually that is kind of massive for you because I know that you have famously had visa issues that have kind of dominated a lot of your early career.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when I first got off the plane, I got a couple of jobs that I couldn't do, like series regular roles. I couldn't do straight off the plane, basically, and then I couldn't do them because of my visa. So I had to go home, get a visa, come back. I didn't get the job. I couldn't do them. Then I didn't work for like 5 years, and for the 5 years after that, like work was very sporadic. So like, yes, I have come into visa issues, but then. Yeah, the last, I got my green card however long ago, and now I'm a citizen. I raised the right hand and swore to fight for this country if it ever comes to it. And I'm like, wow. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I ever want to. Like, it's like you've got to take up arms. The thing you say when you become a citizen, like you're willing to take up arms for this country.
That's
and
crazy.
You kind of got to cross your fingers and go like, oh shit, I don't want to.
That is so.
I don't want to fight for this country.
Well, I mean, marrying American helped with the visa, obviously. For me too, brother. For me too.
Did you marry? I didn't marry in America. Did you marry in America?
I married a girl from Colorado.
Nice.
Your wife's not from America. They love pot, and so do I. So it's a marriage made in heaven. Your wife is not American?
No, we grew up on the same street in Sydney, but we met here.
Stop. Okay, interesting.
Yes.
But you met here. What's it like raising an American kid with your Aussie wife?
Oh, dude, I've got two sons now, and they both say "mommy," and they're like, I want to eat pasta. It's like, where'd you get this? But they go to daycare, so they meet all these kids and they speak in their way, and it's just, I'm like, we got to get out of here soon. We can't have American accented kids. I just can't do it.
Do you like try to force Aussie culture upon them in some way?
No, I'm aware that any type of forcing will not do well with them. So for instance, like when my son is when he's a little turd, like the worst thing you can do is force him out of the behavior. You just have to go like, you either act like you don't care that he just did that and slowly coax him out of it, or you sit down with him and you explain. But if you force him to stop doing something, he'll go, I'm going to go and do it like 10 times harder.
He'll be waving an American flag next. He'll be having a Make America Great Again cap. He'll be like, I'm not Australian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even correct his pronunciation. I'm just going to let it go. And the right time, I'm going to move in and, and say something.
So no Vegemite or,
No, we have Vegemite,
okay.
and they know that they're Australian. Like they know that they're from Australia.
That's good.
and that we're going to go back there. Like at night, I sing my son a song as he goes to sleep. I still call Australia home.
Love it. I do. We are one,
but we are many.
It's such a
and
good song.
from all. That's a great song.
Oh, the best song. So no Vegemite sometimes, but they're not that Australian. How do you stay like Aussie over here? Because you've lived over here half your life, as you say. I grapple with the same stuff about sort of how American am I these days? You know, I say some American things. Like I like saying y'all. I will use y'all as if I'm from the South. It's just like sometimes American expressions are just useful, and I'll adopt them. But I do try to hang on to my Australianness.
Yeah, I don't try to hang on to my Australianness. I just have, and that's really nice. Like I'm glad my accent hasn't gone from. I don't think it has really changed that much. So I'm really happy about that.
How is that so? How's that so?
I don't know. I just think I'm less. I think if you want to lose your accent, you know how people go to America, like in Australia for a month or something, they come back and they're kind of doing a bit of an American accent. A lot of Aussies, when they go to England for a few months, come back and they've got hello.
Yeah.
And it's
definitely
like
England. Yeah, definitely England we adopt.
Right, but that's like they want to lose their accents. They want to sound interesting, and I never wanted that. I mean, it's also like just more worth your while as an Aussie, like you and I are in our industries, to have that as our interesting piece. Like, you know, you're Cotton the Aussie and I'm Luke the Aussie, and that's, you know, it's kind of a good way to stand out of it.
Does it stand out? Because I would have thought by this point, you know, there's so many Australians in LA. Like, if you go in and there's another Australian, it's like, all right, well, okay. Do you think it gives you an advantage or no?
I just think it gives you an advantage in a general sense. So, like, as an actor, when I go into an audition room and I nail the American accent, and they're like, "Hey, guess what about Luke? He's an Australian." They're like, "What?"
Nice.
And they're like, "Okay, do your Australian accent now." And then I do it for them. You know, I do the audition in the Australian accent. I'm like, that's the guy, you know, and that happens all the time. And so I think it's just good to have in your back pocket, but I don't like to lead with it. Like, I don't like to be Australian from the get-go.
Nice.
I can play an American. I'm just going to be American. I'm going to speak to people in an American accent, do the audition as an American accent. And then when they find out, mind blown, they go, what an incredible actor. Show us your Australian accent.
I like that. You give the Australia as a surprise, like a, you know, value added.
Totally. You don't want to walk into the room and, "G'day, oh, mate. Yeah, good, yeah." You know, I just think it's too, it's like, I don't know. It pisses me off when Aussies are too Aussie.
I like that.
And it's like, they're pushing it a bit.
Can you give me your favorite thing about America in your best American accent?
My favorite thing about America is guns, freedom, family. I didn't mean that. What is the best thing about America? Best thing about America is I just think it's, if you want to compete against the best in the world in whatever your industry is, chances are it's right here. So if you want to just be surrounded by people who are doing what you want to do and at the best possible level, you need to be here, and that's why I'm here, and that's what I love about it. I love that I'm around the best.
Yeah,
you know, like you know, I go for a walk in my neighborhood and I'll see like James Franco or I'll see Jeff Goldblum. I'm like, I'm around it. Here they are.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, you're around some of the best on Good Cop, Bad Cop. Like Leighton Meester, she is so good. Like, I think I'd kind of forgotten about how good she was.
Agreed. You know, I think it's like, because I never watched Gossip Girl, so I never knew that she was, you know, whether she was good or not. I was just like, I guess she's just, you know, a pretty good actor and famous, and that name sells. Little did I know she's like an incredible actor.
Yeah.
And so talented. So many of these actors coast by on just their name and, you know, what they've done previously, and don't really go by on their talent. Leighton is like, has that in spades.
She does.
And it's also incredible to see, because I work with her, you know, obviously in person. And then what she gives me in person, then what I see on the screen is two different things, because the camera sees something, it sees things differently than the way that we see it. It's really interesting. I'll watch it on TV and go, she's better than I thought in person. Like, it's like she blows you away on camera, like in a way that I'd never realized until I worked with her.
And what do you think when you see you acting?
I have a pretty good bullshit meter for myself. Like, I've watched shows before, and my wife will tell you, like, I go into this like existential like breakdown. I'm like, I suck. This sucks. And I'm like, it's so embarrassing that it's out there. And then with this show, actually, I really enjoy it because I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, to be frank, like, I think I'm really good in the show.
Yeah.
But I have watched other shows, like, you know, I don't want to tell people where to go and watch myself be bad. But I was in a show called Dollface, and I watched that show, and I was like, I suck.
Oh, really?
In this show. Oh yeah, don't go and watch it though. But I sucked in that show.
What about it? What about it?
Very hard to watch. Oh, I don't know. I just didn't like watching myself. I seemed like I was trying, and I was just.
That's the worst. Yeah.
I felt disingenuous.
Yeah, you want to feel effortless there, don't you?
Yeah. But with this show, I'm like, bam. Like, I'm like, that's good. I'm watching myself and enjoying it. I never see a false moment. You know, you kind of watch yourself when you're listening too. Like, not talking and just listening and seeing if you're in it. And I mean, I knew it when I was performing it that it was good. And now watching it, it's enjoyable to watch for me, which is really, it's a nice experience to get to watch yourself and enjoy it.
And you got to act alongside Leighton and Adam in, like, was it
I know.
Last night's episode?
Last night's episode. So the best thing about it is that
Adam Brody, by the way, her husband, Adam Brody, by the way.
Yes, Adam Brody. Adam Brody's character, like, keeps asking if we're married. Me and Leighton, even though we're brother and sister in the show, and it was very funny. He's like, "You married?" And I'm like, "No, brother and sister." He's like, "So there's some chemistry going on here."
That's so funny.
Yeah, very funny. He's a great. I mean, he's, for me, I didn't watch Gossip Girl, but I watched the OC. Like, I loved the OC.
I know Seth, bro. Seth.
No, it wasn't the OC. It was him.
It was him.
Like,
yeah.
I wanted to be him, and I wanted to be with Summer. You know, I wanted that whole experience.
Right. I feel ya. Leighton as well, I saw, has a killer Aussie accent. It's really good.
She wouldn't say that though. She doesn't think it's good, and she knows that, like, it's just a really general one. Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah,
it's good though.
It's good.
It's good. She was around us all the time, like, because we shot that in Australia. It looks like it's Washington State, which is the idea of it. It's a small town America, but we shot that in Queensland on the Gold Coast.
Stop it! Really?
Yes. Yeah, dude.
That is a weird experience to be shooting a show from America from your home. That, I don't know. It's just like,
I know.
It's odd.
I know, it's such a funny thing to move to America to do shows like this and then go back to Australia to do them.
Totally.
But it was great. Like, highly recommend the Gold Coast. It used to be shit when we were kids, but it's amazing now.
It is. I mean, I've been recently, and it was like, it's a super nice, it's like, what do they call it? Like, something Vegas? I don't know what they call it. It is
there's
Vegas.
Bris Vegas.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, which is, an hour away, Brisbane. But it's changed since we were kids. Like, the Gold Coast was the shitty joint that you went to for maybe school holidays or schoolies.
Yeah.
And now it's really a beautiful part of the world that a lot of people want to live in.
Right. Can you tell me, when you were over here, when you had all those visa issues, did you just, what big role did you, like, lose out on because of that issue?
I forget what it was. Okay, so there was a show called What Would Jane Do? And I was like a love interest. It was an ABC family show. And then there was another show on CBS with Christina Applegate and Will Forte.
Okay.
And I would have been her assistant or something. And that was really one that Lorne Michaels was producing it. That would have been one that really would have changed my life. But in the end, like, it would have changed my life, but it would have made me a prick, right? Like, getting off a plane and getting a job immediately and just going, I'm successful. I didn't even try.
Right.
Like, it would have been bad for me. I would have been a little twat if I'd gotten those roles.
That's a good way to look at it and to kind of, like, make yourself feel better, because it's unfair, like, it sucks. Yeah. It must have been very difficult emotionally to go and, like, I don't know, were you bartending instead of, like, being a massive star, and you're serving drinks for how much money an hour, and you're like, I should be the one, like, receiving the, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, it was worse. I was a busboy. So I was picking up the drinks when they were done. I was a busboy for years on Hollywood Boulevard at a place called Hemingway's. And then I started working at the Avalon, which is like a dance, like where everyone does Molly.
Okay.
And I was a busboy there, and that was the worst. That was like 10 a.m., sun rising, you're still working amongst these pillheads, you know.
So how do you deal with it emotionally? Like when you like...
Well, but it told me that I was in the right spot. It was like, hey, correct, you should be here. But then I came back and all of those opportunities were no longer there. It was like, I was like, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
And so I didn't work for ages, but it gave me an opportunity to go and get good, you know, go to school and like get good at acting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am thankful for the way it worked out, because, you know, when I worked on Sabrina, for instance, Sabrina was cut into two different types of actors. It was older actors who were maybe in their 50s, and then younger actors who were in their early 20s, who, when they talked about struggle, the early 20s kids were like, oh, I did like 10 auditions and I didn't get any of them. And I'm like, I, who have done like 1,000 and not gotten any of them, was like, you have no idea what struggle is. And the people who were older, the actors who were older, they were like, I am so thankful to be working. Even though they're incredible actors, like we're talking about Lucy Davis, Miranda Otto, all these great actors, they were so grateful to be working. The younger actors were like, I want to leave Sabrina and go and get a better job because I bet I could. And everyone was like, yeah, no.
Right.
When you get work, be thankful. Don't go to leave. You know, you should be aware of what you've got. But people in their early 20s who hadn't struggled very much thought, oh, the grass is greener. I'm going to go and get a better job than Sabrina. And it's like, no, that's unwise.
I agree. Like, I think it's good to sort of slowly climb, you know, a success ladder. If you get so successful early, especially if you lose that success, that would, you know, torment you. Luckily, I'm not very successful, so I'm slowly climbing the ladder. But I mean...
Dude, me neither. Yeah, I just booked it's my first leading role. Like, I don't consider myself very successful either. I'm successful in the fact that I'm a happy person and I've got a great family. I'm super successful in that way. But as career-wise, like my career hasn't like taken off in any great, huge way. So I don't really consider myself a great career success. I just consider myself a successful person because I have people who love me and I'm a happy guy.
Right. No, that's a good metric. How does your family back home feel about your journey, and like you coming over here to begin with is a difficult thing, and now look at you killing it after so long?
Yes. Oh, dude. I mean, I think it's a journey for everyone around you as well as yourself. You always think, oh, I've been through so much. What about the people who like want the best for you? They've been through it all too. And so for a long time, my parents, you know, I remember when I turned 30, my parents kind of going, hey, like, want to come home back to Australia and study to be a nurse or study to be a teacher? It could be time to think about quitting this dream of yours. And not just them, a lot of my family asked me that, like, and it was a very like big wake up call for me to go, wow, these guys, it's not their job to believe in me. It's my job to believe in me.
Yeah.
But then when I've started to make it now, and, you know, they see some success, you know, I think it's great for them. I think they really like it. I don't blame them or feel resentment that they didn't believe in me for a moment. It makes total sense. Like, you have to have a unreal, radical belief in yourself in order to make it in this business. And you can't expect other people to have it. Not even my wife. Like, I don't even expect Cara to have the same belief in me that I have in me. Sometimes I have to say, hey, look, it's a gig economy and there are no gigs. So I have to try and figure this out. And she goes, well, can't you just go and get a full-time job? And, you know, and I'm like, okay,
right.
I totally understand where you're coming from, but I have this belief that something's going to happen. And then it does.
That's
so
hard.
It's all,
yeah, it's
hard.
good to be vindicated in that way.
Yeah. And good to think, you know, good to have somebody go, are you sure? Like, or are you sure you don't want to go and like get a normal job and just relax and make money like a normal person? And it's good to ask yourself that question from time to time. It's like, am I being dumb? Am I being unwise? I have mouths to feed. Maybe it is time to go and get a full-time job. It's good to ask that question from time to time.
A lot of people in your position, you know, a lot of people in my position, people in LA trying to, you know, do stuff in entertainment. A lot of people, maybe like real job would be preferable and would make them happier. So it's not like a crazy thing because... yeah, this is like a very difficult...
Stability is nice.
Yeah, stability is nice.
Stability is really nice, you know, and being in a gig economy is quite a stressful thing to do. It's not for everybody. But as I said, you must have an unreal belief in yourself in order to do this. You must say, like, I am talented enough, and I don't think that anybody is quite as talented as me in the same way as I am.
Right.
And so it's like, and that belief and kind of always getting feedback on that belief, so that people going, hey, that audition, you're not getting it, but they really liked you. That's just a little bit of belief. Take it, hold on to it. Like getting a job and not doing it because of the visa, but it's like, oh, belief. And that kind of belief just keeps stacking those moments and keep going.
Okay, this is a good time for what's the calorie count at? You've been walking this whole time on your treadmill. What are we at?
It's we're at I've done 2,200 steps. I'm at 48 calories burnt while we've been talking.
Fantastic. We're trying to get to like what, 60, 70? Couple more.
I'd say by the end we'll get to 3,000. Yeah, about 70 calories.
Now, I know you come from a religious family, and I saw that at one point your mum even was refusing to watch Sabrina because you played Lucifer. Has she got around to watching it?
No. She won't watch it. And she didn't. It wasn't that she refused. My dad watched it, and it was so good to have my dad, who is a minister. He was like, he loved it. He was like, your acting has improved so much, and it was really nice to hear that from him. My mum's a great woman. She just is not, witches and fantasy and stuff. That's just a choice of hers. She's not going to partake in that.
What about Good Cop, Bad Cop? Is she watching Good Cop, Bad Cop?
Oh, she loves it. That's fun for the whole family, mate.
Right.
I'm so glad that I'm in a show that she can finally watch.
That is good. That actually must feel good that finally she can see, like, if she wasn't watching Sabrina, now she's like can enjoy your craft.
Exactly. I mean, I've been in some rude, naughty shows too, so it's like nice to be in a show where there's no swearing and it's funny, but it's not rude,
Is there any role you wouldn't play for fear of embarrassing your mum?
I've done them. I've done a lot of roles now. Like now,
you do it all.
I would do it all. I don't really think about it. I don't think about her when it comes to choosing roles. At this point, I'm worried about embarrassing myself, in 10 years, looking back and going, I wish I never did that.
Right. Fair enough.
More than I'm worried about Maxine.
Okay, we're ready for our big finish. A few questions here, okay, at the end. What is your most aspirational career goal? If you were going to say, I want to achieve that one specific thing, what would it be?
Such an annoying question.
Oh, you don't... I was going to say you don't have to answer it, but...
No. It's not an annoying question by you. It's annoying for me because I keep trying to figure out what I want. Like, do I want to be a fucking Academy Award-winning actor, or do I just want to make some money and feed my family?
Right.
Like it's the ongoing question. It's like, do I want to shoot for greatness like Timothée Chalamet, or do I just want to be like really good at what I do in this particular way and like not
like
really
who?
worry about
like who?
Well, like Rob Lowe.
Okay.
Like he never went for. I don't think he's going to go for an Academy Award. He's just like, I'm going to be handsome. I'm going to be entertaining. I'm going to be really funny, and I'm going to do that.
See, I think that life's happier. That's a happier life.
I think so too. I think. And it's more critically acclaimed. It's not critically acclaimed. It's just like good, entertaining times and good money.
Chalamet looks like he's having a fair bit of fun though too.
Damn, I mean, Kylie looks good.
Yeah. That's crazy, right? Huh? I still can't believe it. I can't wrap my head around it.
Wonders of modern science.
Right. Would you be in a remake? This is actually a great idea of mine. Why they need to do a remake of Crocodile Dundee?
Ooh.
Like, why hasn't that been around and you could play the man himself? I could see that.
Dude, totally. I would absolutely do. I think you got to wait for old mate Paul Hogan to pass on. I know it sounds terrible, but because, well, he was so great. I just don't think he'd give up the IP. I think it's his, and he's going to keep making money off it unless he was to come back. Because I think that they would have done that with Chris Hemsworth by now.
True.
If it wasn't for, like, something's held it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris Hemsworth would have been the guy. He's just not that. He's just not as funny as Paul Hogan is. That's the problem with Chris Hemsworth. Whereas I am as funny as Paul Hogan. So I could probably do something. I would love to do that. You know what I'd love to do? What sequel I would love to do?
What?
The Grinch 2.
Love it.
Love the Grinch. And I was like, and I don't think, like if I was to do Dumb and Dumber, like the new Dumb and Dumber, I would not want to touch that shit.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey is untouchable. Like, however, in the Grinch 2, like, I'm like, I can add to things that he does in that movie. I don't think that that's his role, actually. Even though he's brilliant in it, I'm like, I think that there's more to do in that world.
No, more in the Grinch world. I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah.
I'm
like
in.
the Dr. Seuss whole that whole thing. There's a lot to be done there, and he nailed it. I'm just saying. I just think there's more to do, and kids love that shit so much. I really feel like I could nail Grinch.
What about, why hasn't there been a Steve Irwin biopic yet?
Oh my God. Well, I'd say that the family doesn't want anyone to mess with it. Somebody did Shane Warne in Australia a couple of years ago. Shane Warne's, for anyone listening, is a cricket player in Australia. And they did that, and they were bad, right? Like, it was a bad show. No one watched it. It was really bad. I think they're really careful about what they're going to do with Steve's memory, as they should be, because he was an amazing person, and they don't want it to be disrespected or satirized.
So don't make it that way then. So don't make it that way. Make it heroic.
They don't want it to mock it. Yeah, they want to make it heroic. I don't know if I'm the guy, only because I'm like a foot taller than Steve Irwin.
Right.
However, like that's definitely something to be done. Like, he's so great, mate. I love him so much. And somebody needs to tackle that. That's a good idea.
What would you be doing today if you were ugly? Got off the treadmill for that one. You got off the treadmill for that one. Wow.
I like that. I like the idea that, and you're not wrong. Like, if I didn't look this way, I probably wouldn't have moved to LA to be an actor.
Right.
Totally. Oh God. I still would be funny.
Yes.
Maybe funnier.
Probably funnier, actually. That's what they say.
Yeah. So I think I'd still be making content. Maybe I would have, like, gone the sad route of the stand-up comedian. You know how they're all sad?
Yeah.
I totally would have done that. I mean, yeah, probably. Look, no. Let's just say I'm not doing the same thing that I'm doing now, but I'm ugly.
You're getting sadder roles. You're just getting sadder roles.
Sadder roles, more co-stars. I'd say I honestly would have gone into another industry and probably have gone into. I probably would have been a teacher. I would have been a great teacher.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I mean, looks fade, so there's still time. Final question.
Great question.
Final question.
Yeah.
Question from a 4-year-old, my 4-year-old.
Hi, Luke. Do you believe witches?
Do you believe witches? Like, do they tell the truth or not?
They do church.
No, do you believe in witches?
In witches.
Do you believe in witches?
No.
Oh.
For sure. 100% I do. To me, there's no doubt that there's spirit beyond what we can see. So if you're open to the idea of, like, good spirits, and if you're open to the idea of bad spirits, even if you're open to the idea of ghosts, things beyond what we can see, then you have to be open to the idea of witches, and you have to be open to the idea of good energy, bad energy, good spirits, bad spirits.
But like flying broomsticks?
No. But there are literally people who study the art of witchcraft, which is, putting spells on people, like,
wow,
all that stuff. I believe in the power of that stuff. I don't think that it's weak. I think that it's real. And there's a reason it's lasted for thousands of years. Like, people still do it to this day, and they were still doing it all the way back then. And there's, like, power to it.
Right. Okay. I'm not
real.
sure I agree.
Sorry, Peach.
Peach, she believes in witches. She's just getting into Harry Potter and that sort of stuff.
Oh, nice. So good.
So good. Hey, so thank you so much, Luke, man. This was a really fun chat.
Mate, pleasure, Cotton. I like it. I still think you should call it Cottonmouth, your podcast. What do you think?
Cottonmouth, yeah. And I can just, like, give celebrities Cottonmouth. Oh, actually, that sounds bad. That actually sounds lewd. That's
like a lewd act?
Yeah. All right, how many steps, how many calories when we finish the podcast?
Okay, we are on 3,000 steps, and we're probably at 60 calories. I'd say 62 calories.
Can you run us out? Can you run us out of here, Luke?
Here we go. I can only go to 4 miles, so I'm going to be at a brisk walk.
Here we go. Okay, brisk walk like you're at the Olympics.
Here we go.
There he goes.
There's 4 miles. 4 miles an hour.
Hell yeah. Thank you, brother.
No one can stop me.
Thank you, mate.
Charles, it was a pleasure, mate. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, talk soon, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Christina.
Cotton, how are you, mate?
I'm very good. We've got a new graphic for you.
I'm so excited.
You got your own logo.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all well and good now. It's profesh.
Wow. This week down under really, it's all people are talking about.
Do you think? I hope so.
Yeah, I just walk around town. I just hear people, this week down under, did you hear it?
It's because you're wearing the hat.
It's because I'm wearing the hat.
Because you're wearing all the merch. You walk around with all the merch that I'm yet to receive.
I know.
I've not received any merch.
I ordered you a cap this morning.
Stop. That's
I ordered
very
you a cap
sweet.
this
Thank
morning.
You.
You like these sort of hats?
Speedos?
And oh, you want Speedos for your husband?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
down under Speedos. Okay, on their way. All right. What has been happening down under this week?
It's been a big week.
Has it?
One of my favorite stories this week.
Mhm.
You know Chris Lilly.
I love Chris Lilly.
We all know Chris Lilly. Is he big here?
I have heard Americans talking about him
good.
and Summer Heights High.
Because Justin Bieber loved Summer Heights High.
Justin, I think people might not know Chris Lilly's behind these shows.
Yes.
But he is Mr. G. He's Jermaine.
Yes, he is an iconic Australian comedian, slightly controversial at times.
Yeah, he's done like blackface for a role. You know, that's
Still not appropriate.
Not appropriate, but I mean, he's a funny guy.
Oh, he's
and
funny.
so what's up with him?
Well, he's just recently posted on his Instagram, and it's of Mr. G. It's a video
Okay.
of him dressed as Mr. G, like doing little things like the exercise ball is back.
Right.
And it's pretty clear Mr. G is coming back, and everyone is going insane over this. Like, this is very exciting.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
for his own
We don't know.
some-
He hasn't really given too much detail.
Mr. G the movie could be
Mis-
cool.
Or its own show. Like Jamae had her own show. Mr. G is worthy of his own show.
I think so. I think so.
100%.
If you're American out there and you're listening to this and you haven't watched Summer Heights High,
Go do it.
what the bloody hell are you doing?
Where the bloody hell are you?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lara Bingle.
Yeah,
Very good.
our girl Lara Bingers.
Okay, what else is happening?
What else is happening? Okay, this is interesting, I found.
Okay.
Celebrities, they're just like us.
Mhm.
They get insecure about their looks, even when they're really, really good looking.
hmm
Australian actor Simon Baker,
He is really good. looking.
really, really good looking.
Yes.
He hasn't seen one of his biggest films.
Now, what has he done lately? I don't know.
It's not super lately.
Okay.
It's with Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep.
Devil Wears Prada.
Of course, it's Devil Wears Prada, an
Right.
iconic film. Everyone should watch it. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Thank God, because that would have gone.
It's
haywire.
iconic. It's iconic.
It's the best.
Yes.
He's in it. He
Mhm.
plays kind of like a dirtbag, sleazy, tries to go after Anne Hathaway, knowing that she has a partner.
Yeah, but he was good in it.
He's a god. He plays
Yeah.
it great. He's a great actor.
Right.
He hasn't seen it.
Why not?
Okay, this is where it gets weird. So he did an interview with Esquire Australia, and he said that he opted out of seeing this film after a friend's wife watched it and had one piece of feedback.
Mhm.
She said, can I swear?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on with your eyebrows in that movie?
He didn't watch it because he had bad eyebrows?
This is so weird.
The friend's wife came up to him and said, "What is your eyebrows doing in the movie?" man?"
Yes.
That's not a very nice sort of feedback.
No. And she said that she told him they just had their own thing going on. And he said he was really absurdly vulnerable and vain, and then decided from there on out that he never wanted to see the film, which is crazy because it's so good and he's so good in it. And I've not once noticed his eyebrows. But now that I've looked into this story, a lot of people have been commenting on his eyebrows.
Are they bushy in it or
Kind of bushy when you like, but who cares?
eyebrows not like a deal breaker for you?
I love bushy eyebrows. I adore eyebrows.
Eyebrows are like your little thing.
No, on women, on men, like you need nice, beautiful, strong, thick eyebrows.
What sort of eyebrows do you like on a guy? Like what do you
I mean, do you know who had great eyebrows?
Who?
David Gallagher. Well, he's still alive. David Gallagher, Sandy Cohen from the OC.
That is
great
such
brows.
a weird little like type you've got. Oh, I love a man with bushy, huge eyebrows.
But they're so good. Girls look so good with big eyebrows too.
Interesting.
It's a thing.
Okay, well maybe Simon Baker, maybe it was a compliment when she said, "What the hell is going on with your huge eyebrows?"
I don't think he took it that way. And people write things like, what is the strangeness of Simon Baker's two-tone eyebrows? Maybe they were two-toned.
Two different colours.
I
Bit
don't
odd.
think so. I think they're just really quite bushy. I mean, he's Aussie. Maybe he's a surfer.
Yeah.
Some sea water stuck in
Yeah,
there.
whatever. Watch the
Yeah,
movie,
whatever.
mate.
Yeah,
I heard you
really
got
should.
you got one more thing, but it's not as strong as the other two.
Yeah, let's see how you like this.
Okay.
one. Okay. So Australian singer-songwriter Ben Lee.
Ben Lee, yes.
Ben Lee.
Yes, I know Ben Lee.
So he's got a bit of a hot take
Mm-hmm.
on the Australian music industry, and he is single-handedly blaming someone for ruining Australian music.
Okay.
And it's someone that's not even Australian. He was on his podcast with his wife, Weirder Together. Cute.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that the music industry hot take is that fellow singer-songwriter Ben Harper is responsible for an Aussie musical crime.
Why?
I'm a bit confused. Like, he's a blues and roots singer-songwriter. And yeah, I don't want to do this story.
Well, look, I mean,
I don't want to do this story.
I think what he was like trying to say.
Oh, you saw it?
I did actually see it. I was
great.
playing dumb. He thinks that Ben Harper and Jack Johnson inspired a generation of men just to be that acoustic, like banana pancake.
But they aren't Australian.
Yeah, but they have had an influence in Australia.
They do have quite a Byron Bay.
Byron
Edge
Bay-ish, like
theme
just the
to them.
acoustic singing like this.
But our whole industry doesn't need to sound like that. Like,
No.
Guy Sebastian doesn't sound like that.
No, but I mean I think that was Ben Lee's point, because Ben Lee could have been that route. He is that sort of guy, but I think
Yes.
he tried something. I think he tried to do a different sort of thing.
Okay.
But I love Jack Johnson, and like
I love Jack Johnson.
shout out
Yeah.
if you're listening.
Jack Johnson's listening, you
He's a
reckon?
big fan, actually. He writes in
You
often.
should get him on.
We should get him on. Big Down Under, Jack Johnson. True. Now we can do. What was the other one you said?
Ben Harper?
Ben Harper. Now we can do Ben Harper and Jack Johnson on Big Down Under. Since
Yes.
Ben Lee claims that they are two Big Down Under.
They're basically honorary Australians.
There we go. There you have. Oh,
We should try and get Ben Lee, really.
Ben Lee would be good.
Like, that would be good.
You know what non-Australian I want to do the podcast?
Who?
Well, he is technically Australian. Kyrie Irving, NBA superstar. Oh, you're two Australians know who Kyrie Irving is.
You lost me at NBA.
You're two Australians know who Kyrie Irving is.
Mm.
Wow.
How can I be too Australian to know who that is?
Because he's a massive star. Massive. And you must be so Australian that you haven't even familiarized yourself with one of the best basketball players on the planet.
That's right. I am too Australian.
Anyway, it would blow your mind. He was born in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, shout out.
Shout out. Thank you, Christina.
Anytime.
And we'll see you guys here next week.